What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes and welcome to another episode of my Path to Power. Getting things started today, listing up all the cards that we've been trying to sell forever, but because of the Christmas crash, we are going to be losing some serious coins on those cards. And you can see from that tournament still being up, we're a little while back. Going into the Gold Cup here, you never know what you're going to come up against in the Gold Cup, and that's what's kind of fun about it. It really is the most enjoyable way to play Ultimate Team, at least for me. That guy, pretty darn pacey team, and he manages the first goal here in the 31st minute off of a shady little header from Inino. But I'm going to talk about that 3-4-2-1 formation. That formation is crazy to play against with a 3-5-2. If some of you guys, I'm sure, have played it, but when someone plays that formation against you, if you get countered or give up possession in the midfield, it feels like you're playing, or your outside center backs have a 2v1 against them every time. And so that's something that I'm going to have to take away from this loss and keep in consideration in the future, that I will be switching to that for when I come up against people using the 3-5-2. If I'm struggling breaking them down, the 3-4-2-1 or maybe even the 3-4-3 gonna offer me a nice bit of counter on take advantage of the wings, take advantage of some of the pacier players that I more than likely will have in my squad. Because hey guys, to be fair, you've got to, Ultimate Team's about having fun, and so I like using a certain type of player and a certain type of formation in Ultimate Team that fits what I think is my playstyle. Everybody's got their own playstyle, and the cool thing about Ultimate Team is you can find a formation and a group of players that are going to fit your play style. Now with head-to-head, it's kind of interesting. One thing that I found playing this Kick TV Invitational, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's a huge FIFA tournament that's between 16 of the FIFA YouTubers. We're now on to the quarterfinals, and I've progressed out of my group. You can check out the videos on the Kick TV channel or check out some of the reaction videos that I have posted on my channel if you're interested, but it's a head-to-head tournament, and they set it up the way I think FIFA tournaments should think about being set up in the future, or maybe not fully. And so the way it was set up is you had to pick 6 5-star teams, or you could pick any 6 teams that you wanted and 1 3-star team. Now you could use your 3-star team to get one of your 5-star teams back, but chances are nobody's going to do that. It really would be silly to throw it away because of the huge cash prizes that are on the line. And so I had to take into consideration which teams that I wanted to use. And what I found playing head-to-head is that I have to play a different formation with practically every team in order to fit that team's personnel and mold that to my style of play. So when I played as PSG, I used a 4-2-3-1 formation. When I played as Chelsea, I think I used a 4-2-2-2. When I played as Manchester City, I used a 3-5-2. And now I'll be using, I think I'm going to use Bayern in the next match, and when I play with Bayern in head-to-head, I use a 4-3-3. And so it really depends on what kind of players the team has, and that's one of the cool parts about head-to-head is you get to play, you end up playing a lot of different formations and that sort of thing. If you guys would ever like to see, a head-to-head race to Division 1 sort of thing, obviously not that name, but my own attempt at getting to Division 1 with as few losses as possible, of course, I'd be more than happy to do that because I'm really actually enjoying head-to-head. I find it a little bit more, I don't know if stimulating is the right word, but it's a word that could be used because Ultimate Teams, it gets kind of repetitive. Of course, you can score the amazing skill goals, which you might get to see a little bit later on in this episode. What I'm doing right now is I'm switching the team about. You can only have 1 player from each club to play in this new tournament. And so I'm making it essentially a Liga do Brasil, Brazilian League, or Barclays Premier League hybrid side. And I'm using, I'm going to pick up Fellaini from Everton. I think you're going to laugh at my strikers, though I'm not laughing because I think they're quite good. I've got Balotelli, and of course Ballo gets what Ballo wants up at striker. And as many of you guys know, he's my favorite striker to play with on Ultimate Team. I think he's the most overpowered striker on Ultimate Team just for the sheer fact that he's 6'1", he's got ridiculous ball control, ridiculous pace, ridiculous size, or ridiculous strength, and so that makes him quite a handful. I'm using Adel Taarabt as my attacking mid, who I forgot how much fun he is to play with. He's actually only on 7 chemistry, but I kind of wanted to try it out and see if that really was that big of a deal or not, and I've only played 1 game with it so far that you're going to see at the end of this episode, so stick with me and bear with me for that. And the other striker that I'm using he's big, he's red, his feet stick off the bed, Peter Crouch. And so I've got the big man doing a little bit of robot action, hopefully scoring some goals for me up front. Now, he's not pacey, but he is huge. And actually, one of the interesting things is when you use big players, if you do step overs with them, they actually start moving faster, it seems, or at least it feels that way. Peter Crouch is the main example of that. When you start doing step overs with Peter Crouch in the exit, he gets an unbelievable burst of acceleration. And so you really are able to actually take players on and dribble by them. Not to mention, he's huge. And if I ever need to, I guess, start crossing it in, Balotelli and Peter Crouch, are you serious? That's going to be the easiest crossing I've ever done in my entire life. And of course, Adel Tarap, another 5-star skiller out there. I've got Lucas Leiva and Fellaini in behind them, and Fellaini is probably one of my favorite holding mids on the game. David Luiz Dede, Kabul rounding out the back three, and I still have David De Gea in goal, and he's actually quite good, guys. He's one of the more realistic keepers to me on the game, and you guys might say, well, what do you mean by that? And that is, he is awful against crosses, awful on corners, but his reaction time on regular stuff is incredible. He doesn't hang on to a lot of things, but he actually makes a lot of incredible saves when it's a one-on-one or just a regular shot from in front of the net. His reactions and his diving, really quite good. And so I think, you know, he's one of those keepers in real life. He's got the potential. He's got to get his head and some of his mechanics down positioning-wise. But on FIFA, he kind of feels that way too. You don't want to let a load of crosses in with him because he's going to misjudge them. Corners, he's awful at, but I try not to, you know, let my opponent in my half too much. Went and looked for a match in that Confetti Cup or whatever. I think it's called the Confetti Cup, the one that I built this team for. Couldn't find it, so I figured, hey, let's roll back into the Gold Cup, see what we can find, see what we can do, at least get a match in with this side, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to pick my favorite little kits on this game, the green and gold of, I think it's Plymouth maybe, but Neymar getting things started for us, and this is why you play Ultimate Team. Little 5-star skills, and you get to build your own side, but scoring goals like this, very much fun. Lovely little bit of skill work from Neymar, and then near post, so OP. Getting beat like that, my manager or my coach in real life would have had my keeper's head on a platter if he'd been scored on by something like that. Regardless, fantastic goal from Neymar, lovely bit of skills, and I was crushing this guy. These are the halftime stats, and the only reason I'm showing these is because I could have scored a lot more goals, but they weren't going in. Lovely, I was going for skill goals. Wanted to show you guys some skills or have a little bit of fun with my gameplay. I was in one of those FIFA moods, but every so often you play a little bit of head-to-head and you get into a little bit of the S word, and that's exactly what that goal is. And I don't like using the S word because that's more of a smart pass rather than a we're not going to use it. Anyways, guys, that's how we're going to come to a close of this episode. It's going to be 2-1. He's going to go ahead and rage quit after that goal. Peter Crouch nodding it home for us there. Want to say thank you guys for your continued support. If you did enjoy this, a like or thumbs up is always greatly appreciated. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.